Your brother will be taking over as CEO, effective immediately. My father's words echoed through the conference room like a punch to the gut. James needs this opportunity more than you do, Alexandra. You understand, don't you? I turned to look at my younger brother. There it was, that smug smile I'd known since childhood. The same one he wore when he broke my science project in high school, or when he wrecked my car in college and somehow convinced everyone it was my fault. My name is Alexandra Chen. I'm 35. And today, I just watched my father hand over my life's work to the family screw-up. The company I built from scratch into a $50 million powerhouse was now his newest toy. Of course, I said, my voice calm despite the storm building inside me. Congratulations, James. My father beamed, oblivious. The board squirmed but stayed silent. No one challenges Richard Chen. Not even when he's wrong. I knew you'd understand, he said, patting my hand like I was a child. You've always been the practical one. James just needs a chance. Chance. At my expense. When does the transition begin? I asked, pulling out my phone. Tomorrow, James said, smug as ever. Got some big ideas. Time to shake things up around here, sis. I smiled, fingers already sending 2 messages I drafted months ago. One to my lawyer, one to my tech team. They'd forgotten something vital. Me. They forgot I built the infrastructure. That I designed the proprietary software. That the patents, the client relationships, the staff, they weren't tied to Chen Corporation. They were tied to me. And I had planned for exactly this. I'll have my office cleared by morning, I said, rising. Will that be all? My father looked slightly puzzled. Maybe he expected a breakdown. Instead, I walked out. In my office, Maria was already packing. She didn't need to ask. It happened, she said, wrapping my awards. Right on schedule, I replied. How long until everything's ready? Everything's set, she said. The new office. Team. Contracts are ready. Just say the word. I typed in the exit protocol. As code executed, I chuckled. Did they ever even read how the company was structured? Amused. Or did they think it would just run itself? Maria laughed. James asked where the cloud was this morning. The chaos would begin tomorrow. The software. Licensed to my separate LLC. The clients. Under private contracts with me. The staff. Dual employment. Over 50% of them leaving with me. I glanced at my empty office. No photos. No plaques. Just memories of sacrifice. Ready? Maria asked. Picked up my laptop. Time to build something they can't take from me. The next morning, I woke to 47 missed calls and over 100 texts. My father. James. Panic. Systems are offline. Where is everyone? Call me now. From my new office at Phoenix Technologies, I sipped my coffee as Maria walked in. All systems running. Licenses expired at midnight. James has been screaming at IT for hours. I opened my laptop, checking the dashboard. Our clients had already begun switching. Most had signed with us weeks ago in secret. They'd just been waiting. My phone buzzed again. My father answered. What have you done? He barked. Good morning to you too, Dad. I answered calmly. There's no technical issue, Dad. Nothing's broken. He snapped. Your brother can't access the system. Half the staff is gone. Our biggest clients are terminating contracts. Fix this immediately. I leaned back in my chair, letting his panic wash over me. I thought of all the times he dismissed my warnings, overlooked my accomplishments, and handed everything to James, despite his incompetence. The software license expired at midnight, I said. It was owned by my personal LLC. The staff who left were under dual contracts, completely legal. And the clients, they're free to choose who they work with. You planned this, he accused. You sabotaged James. No, I replied. I protected my own success. The one you tried to hand to James as if it was yours to give. In the background I heard James shouting. My father tried to cover the phone, but their voices still leaked through. She owns the system, he said. The entire infrastructure is hers. What do you mean she owns it? We own the company. The company used her software, licensed through her LLC. She owns the patents. Their realization was almost laughable. For years they saw me as the dependable daughter, the detail keeper, while they focused on the big picture. Today those very details unraveled their illusion of control. Alexandra, my father said, his tone softened now. We can work this out. Come back. We'll offer you a better position. I already have a better position, I said. CEO of Phoenix Technologies. We launched this morning. Silence. You can't do this to us. I already have. Check the news. Maria handed me a tablet showing the press release. Industry leader launches bold new venture. Chen Corp's stock was already tanking as news of the staff and client exodus spread. You've destroyed everything, my father said. No, Dad. Built something new. Just like I built Chen Corporation. The difference is this time you can't give it away. I ended the call. How are we doing? Asked Maria. All systems are live. Staff settled in. Clients fully transitioned. I walked to the window and took in the city skyline. A better view than my old office. Just one of many upgrades. Send out the all-hands meeting invite, I said. It's time to welcome everyone properly. As I prepared for the meeting, my phone buzzed. A text from James. You'll regret this. Dad's calling the lawyers. Smiled. My legal team had documented every step of this transition. Flawlessly. Every decision was ethical, legal, and thoroughly planned. Let them talk to their lawyers. They should have paid more attention to the details I'd mastered. In our new conference room, I looked out at the familiar faces, brilliant minds freed from James's interference. I stood before them, calm and ready. Welcome to Phoenix Technologies, I said. A place where we value talent, reward innovation, and respect the people who actually do the work. The applause was thunderous. We were ready to soar. 6 months later, I was reviewing our quarterly reports. Phoenix Technologies had already surpassed Chen Corp in valuation. The media called it the Great Migration. My father had tried everything. Lawsuits, poaching, even guilt-tripping through family. None of it worked. Your brother just applied, Maria said, holding back a smirk. Want me to add him to the rejection pile? I nearly spit out my coffee. He applied. Chen Corp is crumbling. They've lost 70% of their market value. The board's considering a vote of no confidence. I shook my head. James, who had mocked Phoenix as my emotional outburst, now wanted in. My phone buzzed again. A text from Mom. Your father can't sleep. James is drinking again. Can't we fix this? Fix it. They always wanted me to fix what they broke. Not anymore. Send the standard rejection, I told Maria. Doesn't meet qualifications. That afternoon, as I reviewed potential acquisition targets, including some of Chen Corp's flailing subsidiaries, my father walked into my office. He looked older. Muller. Security said you approved the visit. I did, I said. Have a seat. He looked around the office, eyes lingering on the awards lining the wall. You've done well, he said quietly. Better than we ever did. I know. He nodded. The board wants to remove James. They're talking about selling to a competitor. Everything I built gone. You didn't build it, I replied softly. I did. You just gave it away. He flinched but didn't argue. I thought I was doing what was right, helping James. No. You taught him to take what others worked for. How's that working out? He slumped in the chair, defeated. I'm here for the employees. They deserve better. I agree, I said. Which is why I've prepared a proposal. I handed him the folder. Phoenix Technologies will acquire Chen Corporation. Not a merger. Full acquisition. We'll keep most of the staff, preserve the brand, but under our management. James steps down. You retire. That's the offer. He stared at the document, weighing the reality of what I was offering, and what he was surrendering. "The board will accept," he finally said. "They've been hoping for something like this." "And James?" asked. He shook his head. "He's not your problem anymore." "You're right. You never were the problem. I was." He stood, then turned at the door. "For what it's worth. I'm proud of you. Not just for what you built, but for standing up for yourself. Even against me." After he left, I walked to the window, looking over the city where I'd started, and where I now thrived. Another text from James. "Dad told me about the buyout. We need to talk." I deleted it. Some bridges weren't meant to be rebuilt. Maria stepped in. "Chen Corp's board is ready. Champagne's on ice." I smiled, settling back at my desk. "Let's go buy a company." Because sometimes, the best revenge isn't about revenge at all. It's about rising so high, they can't help but look up, and finally see what they were too blind to value all along. And the view from the top. It was worth every step of the climb.